Ready one. Cue John. Ready two. Take one. Take two.
Hello, and welcome to this edition of In Focus, Hyundai's video magazine. I'm Diane Powers.
And I'm John Roberts. Today we have two stories of special interest for Hyundai technicians. We're going to take an in-depth look at pre-delivery inspection and give you some hot tips on air conditioner installations for Excels.
One reason for the world's rapid acceptance of Hyundai automobiles has been the company's commitment to quality control. That quality control cycle starts in the factories of Korea, where robotic machines work tirelessly and exactly to assemble the new XLs. A vast network of computers precisely controls every step of construction, and then the computer's work is checked by human inspectors at hundreds of points along the assembly line.
But no matter how carefully the factory builds and inspects Hyundai automobiles, they still require a pre-delivery inspection upon arrival in the U.S. Why? Because it's the last chance to make absolutely sure that our cars are everything they were designed to be.
That's right. You, the technicians, are the final link in Hyundai's quality control cycle, and everyone counts on you for that last important PDI sign-off. Our cars must be perfect. Otherwise, we'll hear about it from the toughest quality control inspectors of all, the customers. And they'll let us know how satisfied they were using this form, the Customer Satisfaction Survey, which Hyundai Motor America will be mailing to all of your customers shortly after delivery.
Given the quality of Excels, there's no reason to expect anything but good news from the Customer Satisfaction Survey. We can, however, ensure those good results by giving each new Hyundai which leaves your dealership a proper pre-delivery inspection.
After all, properly inspecting Hyundai automobiles isn't hard. As our reporter in the field, Mike Cole, will show us in today's first story, PDI in action. So Mike, take it away.
Thanks, Diane. I've been examining attitudes toward pre-delivery inspection at two different dealerships, one a Hyundai store, the other a well-established competitor. And let me tell you, the differences are remarkable. I'm standing now in the competitor's service area. The car you see behind me is about to receive its pre-delivery inspection from Dave, one of the competitor's better technicians. That'll be Dave now. Let's watch unseen from the sidelines.
Another boring PDI. No, I really don't know what the big deal is about this PDI. I mean, they do all this stuff at the factory. Well, might as well get on with it. Paint. Yep, it's been painted. Tires? All present and accounted for. Exhaust. Sure, it's under there somewhere. Now for the interior. Ah, heck, that's a warranty repair there. Take care of that. All right.
Hey, aren't you done yet?
Almost. I gotta road test it.
We need that car now in sales. Move it out.
All right. Road test complete. This baby's ready to roll.
Hey, Wally. I'm back. Come and get it.
Glad that's not my car being delivered. This dealership is really playing with fire. I'm going now to the Hyundai store. John, Diane, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Mike. For most people, picking up a new car is an exciting event, and if it's been properly prepared, can earn the dealership big points in customer satisfaction.
Or, as in this case, can lay the groundwork for a customer complaint. No one enjoys bringing back their new car for repairs or adjustments that should have been done during the pre-delivery inspection.
The shame of it is, this form of customer dissatisfaction is so easy to avoid, as Mike Cole will show us in the second part of his report. So Mike, back to you.
Thank you. Mike Cole here in the local Hyundai store. We're going to see how the more professional Hyundai technicians handle PDI and in the process ensure customer satisfaction from the point of delivery. That's Rick. He's getting ready to perform a pre-delivery inspection on that new Excel. Let's see how he goes about it. If you've never PDI'd an Excel, take a few minutes to check the PDI service bulletin and list. It will give you the exact pre-delivery inspection procedure and help you organize your work so you can complete an Excel PDI in little less than 1 hour. To prep an Excel, first record the VIN, stock number, and other vital information. Having a proper audit trail with correct information on the car and all services performed is required by Hyundai. Then start by checking the exterior. A thorough exterior inspection can usually be finished in about 4 minutes. What exactly do you look for? Check to see that the car is in the same condition you'd want your new car delivered in. In other words, perfect. Inspect the body and paint for scratches and rust. Make sure all panels and moldings are properly aligned and on tight. Check to see that anything that can open does open and then closes properly. Test all locks on the car, even the fuel filler door. What if you find something in the course of doing PDI which requires unusual service or repair? Easy. Just note it on the back of the PDI form and continue inspecting. Later, make the repair or adjustment and file the claim using standard warranty procedures. Finally, make sure all exterior lights are working properly. Don't forget the turn signals and flashers. Following the exterior examination, check the interior. This usually takes about 5 minutes. Again, the main objective of your examination is to inspect the car through the eyes of the customer. Check the fit and finish inside the car. Look for those small defects. If you don't find them during PDI, the customer will when he or she gets home, and that can mean a complaint. Check all interior items for operation. Doors, locks, windows. If it can be turned, pushed, raised, or lowered, check it. Also, check the cigarette lighter. If it's not installed in the dash, it may be inside the trunk's toolkit. Don't forget to make sure all fuses are in place and properly installed. The interior and exterior both passed Rick's inspection. Now it's time for him to check under the hood. When checking under the hood, inspect the battery for appearance and charge, the cable connections for tightness. Inspect all wiring and hoses for proper, secure connections. Do the same for the brake lines and vacuum booster hose. And if the car has a 5-speed transmission, don't forget to check the vacuum hoses at the reservoir tank and switching valves. Next, check the fluid levels: engine oil, brake fluid, windshield washer fluid, and radiator coolant. Hold off on the auto for proper tension. Now, hook up a scope for a quick engine check. Place the car in neutral, apply the parking brake, and start it. Check the car's idle speed, and if it has air conditioning, its fast idle speed with the air on. Finally, check ignition timing according to specs on the underhood label. A good underhood inspection will take around 15 minutes, but it's time well spent. A smooth running car is always an important step towards customer satisfaction, and increasing your customer satisfaction with their brand new Hyundai is what PDI is all about. Next comes the undercar inspection. What can you look for here? Plenty. First, Check all the brake components and lines for leaks. Inspect the fuel lines, then the exhaust system. All should be leak and damage-free. If equipped with a manual transmission, check the oil level. Then check the gear shift control shaft, the drive shafts, and steering gearbox boots for condition. Check all steering system bolts for tightness. Make sure cotter pins are in place. Inspect the tires and wheels for any defects. Inspect the front and rear shocks for condition and proper installation. Finally, with the car lowered, torque the wheel nuts, then adjust tire pressures to specifications. That concludes our undercar check, which should take about 12 minutes to perform. 2 general inspections remain before this Excel is ready to roll.
Many of the PDI road test checks can be performed right here in the parking lot. You can check the clutch pedal operation, brake pedal free play, check the brakes for sponginess. If the car has AC, turn it on, check its operation. Turn on the heater. Try the rear defroster. Try the wipers and the washer, both front and rear. Beep the horn. Test the radio. Set the clock. Make sure all the instruments are working. And when you're ready to drive, be sure and test the seatbelts. In fact, wear them. They'll keep you safe while driving. Basically, I'm checking to see that the car rides, handles, steers, accelerates, and brakes the way it should. I also listen for squeaks, rattles, or any other unusual noises. I make sure the car shifts smoothly up and down, whether it has a manual transmission or an automatic. I check the steering around corners and on twisty roads. I drive at different speeds to see if there's any vibration at the wheel. I check the brakes on easy and hard stops, the engine for response from a standing start and at highway speed. It takes about 12 minutes to test out the car. I've developed a 2-mile road course which lets me check all those PDI road items. When finished, I head back for the car's final check.
And that check is called the final preparation. If the car has an automatic transmission, now's a good time to check its ATF level. Next, shut off the engine and remove all unnecessary stickers, covers, and labels. For that professional touch, you may want to give the car a final wash. Install all wheel covers. And check that the jack, handle, and lug wrench are in the trunk. While you're there, don't forget to check the spare tire's pressure. Finally, depending on your dealership's policy, make sure to place all owner information materials into the glove box. And that's it. The PDI on this car is complete. All Rick has to do now is sign the PDI form and turn it into his service manager. He'll probably perform a brief inspection of the work himself, then sign off. Ultimately, the PDI form will be filed in the service office for future reference by your regional and district service managers. You see, properly doing a PDI wasn't so hard. It's just a matter of pride and wanting to do a good job. And you'll know there'd be no surprises for this customer when they drive away. So, Diane, John, that's PDI in action. And let me tell you, it works.
Thank you, Mike. A very interesting report. If technicians conscientiously follow this procedure, XLs no doubt will be the most thoroughly prepared cars in the automotive industry.
Right. And let me add that it still takes a skilled eye and experience to become really good at PDI. It's not a job to be taken lightly. Let's pause now for these important messages from our sponsor.
It's a venture that few would have dared. Introducing a new car in the world's most competitive marketplace. From Korea to the U.S., the Hyundai XL is more than a car. It's an experience and value. Take the introductory walk-around, the XL sales introduction on the Hyundai Video Network. And also available, it's a revealing look at the highlights every technician should know about the XL. See it now, the technical introduction to the 1986 XL.
Welcome back. You know, everyone loves air-conditioned cars, but installing an air conditioning unit into a car can make us dislike them. In any case, air conditioner installations can be a solid profit opportunity for you and your dealership.
And since they are popular, we're going to show you how to painlessly install an air conditioning system into a new XL. Or more specifically, our reporter Mike Cole will in our second feature, Hot Tips on AC Installations. So Mike, take it away.
Thanks, John and Diane. Welcome to Hot Tips on AC Installation. I'm here with our Hyundai technician, Fred Jenkins. He's going to show us how to install an air conditioning kit into this XL. Although we're going to shorten this process a bit, you're going to see all the important steps. Okay, Fred, show us how it's done.
Okay, always start your AC installation by checking the parts list. Make sure all the parts are there and in good shape.
Is there an installation instruction manual included in this package?
No, the installation manual is separate and has already been sent directly to dealers. If it's missing, a replacement manual can be ordered from Hyundai through the parts system. All right, all the AC parts are here. One word of caution though, these caps, don't pull off any protective caps until you're ready to connect all the parts together. Otherwise, moisture in the air can damage the system. Now let's go into the hood. Before beginning disassembling the engine compartment, place protective covers over the fenders and disconnect the battery. That's very important. Then remove the front filler panel, the center grille support, and the air cleaner.
And then we're ready to go into the car, right?
Right. Inside the car, remove the center console, the glove box, the lower cover with the shelf, this heater duct, the steering column lower cover, and radio or filler panel in this case. And if it's a digital radio, mark down the customer's preset stations before disconnecting the battery so you can reset the stations later.
That's very considerate.
I just do it as a part of the job. It gives it that professional touch.
So, what's next, Fred?
We install the new AC parts in the engine compartment. Okay, first you may have to remove the standard crank pulley and replace it with an AC pulley. Check your car first though. Some cars come from the factory with the AC pulley already installed. If you get one of those, it's a real time saver. Next, install the compressor bracket and tension pulley. Then the compressor. To install it, remove the distributor cap and drop the compressor into place behind the distributor. You have to put it in from the top, but then I find it easier to drop the splash guard and bolt the compressor up from underneath the car. Once bolted in, rotate the pulley 5 or 6 times to return all the oil to the reservoir. Otherwise, the compressor could be damaged when you turn it on. Then install and adjust the V-belts at the tension pulley and alternator to the specs given in the manual. Install the condenser outside the filler panel hole. Be careful not to damage it. Then install the condenser fan assembly and the fan motor relay. Mount the receiver dryer on the left inner wheel well. Note that I've left the blind plugs on this and all other components. Okay, that finishes the major components in the engine compartment.
All right, let's go back inside the car.
Inside, below the glove box, you install the evaporator bracket here. The drain hose goes out the dash panel here through a grommet. Before putting in the evaporator unit, install the wiring harness while there's still room to work. Pull the rubber grommet out of the dash panel and insert the wiring harness with its new plug. If there's a reserve tank, cut the grommet and feed it through. Now install the evaporator unit and adjust it for proper fit to the blower housing in the heater unit, and be careful not to trap the heater cables in the joint. Now connect the electrical components inside, the thermostat, the AC relay, and this 3-pole connector to the existing vehicle harness. And don't forget to install this upper nut, or the AC package could slip down and cause a large air leak. Finally, remove the blind cover from the instrument panel and install the AC switch. You'll find the existing wiring connector behind the opening. Now back to the engine compartment to install the rest of the parts. In the engine compartment, remove all blind caps and install the plumbing. Make sure you use 2 wrenches when tightening down the pipes. Otherwise, they might twist or crack. Notice that I've left plenty of clearance. The plumbing isn't touching any engine parts. The plumbing locations can be tricky, so it helps to take a look at another car that already has its air conditioning installed. Next, connect the AC wiring harness to the compressor, the main harness, the dual pressure switch, the condenser fan, and the ground point. Make sure all connections are tight. And to make certain everything stays secure, tape or tie wrap the AC harness to the main harness about every 8 inches. Finally, install the FICD, or fast idle control device, on the firewall. It consists of 2 parts, the idle up diaphragm and this vacuum switching solenoid valve. Then hook up its 2 vacuum lines, one to the vacuum supply, the other to the idle up diaphragm. The FICD increases engine idle speed when you turn the air conditioner on. Adjust it with the engine at full operating temperature.
So what's left?
We have to evacuate the system. Like compressor installation, I recommend doing this from under the car. Once hooked up, evacuate the system to at least 29.5 inches of vacuum at sea level and hold that for at least 30 minutes to make sure that all moisture is out of the system. Then you charge the system with about 2 pounds of refrigerant. While that's going on, I always reinstall the interior components.
Dash looks great. How difficult is that installation?
Well, this is a good air conditioning kit. If you take your time, everything will fit together the way it was designed. It's sweating the small details that counts. A road test will also help to find any squeaks and rattles after installation.
So what's next?
We start the car and check everything out. Okay, the engine's warm. Now we can set the idle speed at the FICD. Check the manual for the normal idle specs applicable to your area. Make sure that's right first. Then adjust the fast idle by turning this adjusting screw. After adjusting, run the engine at normal idle, turn on the AC switch, and check for an idle increase of about 100 to 200 RPM. Can you turn the air conditioning on?
You bet. I heard the idle speed change.
That's the FICD at work. It's running about 900 RPM, so it's just right. Now we'll let the air run for a few minutes so we can check the cooling performance. Okay, after operating the AC for a few minutes, check the refrigerant charge of the sight glass on the receiver dryer. See?
Yeah.
The liquid inside is almost transparent with a few bubbles every now and then as engine speed increases or decreases. That means we're okay. If we had no bubbles or too many bubbles, it means something's wrong and should be looked into.
Does that do it?
Almost. It's time to take one last look around the engine compartment to make sure everything is right and you haven't left any tools behind. After that, hop in the car and give the air conditioner a performance test.
Well, I'm for that. Let's go cool off. That's great. Just think, in less than 3 hours, we've managed to transform this plain Hyundai XL into an air-conditioned XL. And you can too. Just remember the hot tips on AC installations you've seen here, and you'll be installing AC systems like a pro the very first time. It's Mike Cole at Hyundai Central. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that inside scoop, Mike. Sounds like the Hyundai air conditioning kit is one well-thought-out package, making air conditioning installation easy. You know, I wonder if there's money to be made in this air conditioning installation business. That ends our broadcast. We hope we've made your job a little easier with this issue of Hyundai's In Focus video magazine. I'm John Roberts.
And I'm Diane Powers. Thanks for watching.